Hello and welcome everyone, this is Brickhead at the RTS League channel. Welcome you to today's stream. It's going to be the first semi-finals of AoMT Hybrid Clan Cup, hosted by RTS League, of course us, and sponsored by AoL Destroyer. And I know they're a benefactor in the community, so thank you very much for all of that. And we are fighting for 180 euros altogether. So, today we're gonna be having a bit different settings. It's going to be best of 5, it's going to be making sure with the players. As they were talking about it before, and it should be. Yep, everybody agreeing on that. Therefore, it's gonna be at least 3 games, but quite probably it's going to be even more. Because the two clans that are right now gonna be fighting together, the Uncrapables and Deities of Death, so far they have shown quite high skill, exactly as expected before the tournament, and they did not disappoint with their game so far. For Deities of Death, it's going to be for the first game, that is the home map for Uncrapables. Joe with Brickhead and Shelty. You could have seen a bit before that Fox is going to be potentially available to be replacing some of the players if they need a bit different basic setup of the civilizations, if they need another strong ISIS in there, which is definitely possible, looking how we are playing on hybrid, so therefore basically vanilla. And for the Uncapables, it's going to be Kyliudai, Domantas and Matreiuss, quite a solid team, and they also have Hero OP as another one that could be joining them for the match, and I think at best of Sark EOV as well. But I don't think he has actually played a match yet, but he is certainly available if they need him to be making an appearance. Okay, so I believe that everything is right now going to be ready. Well, that's sort of Zeus. Well, obviously gonna be playing basically vanilla variant of Mediterranean, where, yeah, well, Zeus is definitely not half bad. Could be definitely arguing that Poseidon might be even better, but they're probably going for the bolts, I'll be assuming. I'm really expecting this is gonna be triple bolt right there. Now you're gonna be seen a bit later what it's gonna be developing into. We definitely don't expect any kind of Norse as on vanilla, and basically vanilla rules, combined with Titans slightly in there. It's not going to be that much of a strong civilization, even though it has to be said, for example, Odin is definitely not half bad on vanilla water. For example, Grand Monster has shown that quite often in the past like a year, when all of those tournaments hosted by Destroyer were going on. So I kinda guess that you might be actually right now clicking in already and waiting for the players to start the first game of today's semi-finals. So Joe is gonna be apparently playing with his ISIS, definitely makes sense. Kronos is fairly interesting from Brickhead in there. Definitely curious what they are gonna be attempting to do with that. As Shelty is gonna be the last one with standard Zeus, and well, triple Zeus from the opponents, well, on their first home map. But we are yet again on best of 5. It's not the best of 3 anymore, and therefore they need 3 wins, and therefore also winning at least 2 of the normal maps. And if you are, for example, interested in the meantime in recorded games from the tournament, you can find them at rts-sanctuary.com. That's where all of those tournament games, not only from this tournament, but also from the previous one, since like 2003 in the community, are uploaded. So if you are interested in, for example, like Nature Phoenix, Orc, Magyar, all those kinds of names, that is the place where you're gonna be finding it. rts-sanctuary.com. And okay, this way, Nobel, can I guess, Chili Chef? And let's see. That's really a surprise. That's quite a solid surprise. I'm certainly looking forward to how this is gonna be playing out. This is really, really unusual. So triple Kronos apparently is gonna be attempting like a bit of a triple deconstruction. Problem is, they're gonna be really slow with the scouting. So I'm not entirely certain it's gonna be that well working out. You can see Joe replaced by Fox there at the very last moment. And yeah, well, you definitely know what's going to be like the idea right about now for the Uncrapables. They are really quite probably trying to go for basically some triple bolt on somebody, but it's not going to be right now available, as you cannot exactly bolt the Atlantean villages all that easily, even on the original game. And so yeah, well, this is seeming like a pretty good spot for a first starting dog. And yet again, we are on AoMT hybrid, cannot basically repeat that enough, and that means no dogs are gonna be shooting, so the positionings are not gonna be that important. They're gonna be important really if you are gonna be heading right next to the fishy somewhere like here. So that also means that we are on original map spawn, so we don't have not only the observer goodies, but much more importantly, players cannot exactly rely on some kind of like knowledge how the map is going to be spawning, like you can see this already. Well, let's say a bit of a erotical approach here into the map spawn. and with the dock right on top, the tip of it. And it might have actually potentially wanted to go all the way there, but it seems like a pretty good spot for basically being so far away in here, as it seems like good combination between this and potentially all the... Oh man, he didn't even know how lucky he was. As an excellent spawn right about now for Matreiuss. It's gonna be making stuff a whole lot easier for him. But if there was potentially against him a Poseidon, it might have been tricky, but yeah, that is not exactly the case. On the other hand, Kill You Die's dock is not exactly too great, because you can see you usually don't want to be placed in a dock into like middle of and corner of the water pretty much. It's not exactly all that awesome, so your second dock is gonna be approached, for example, somewhere onto the left side, but otherwise yellow pretty nice dock. Purple we have already seen is rather solid as well. He's gonna be looking for a few more fishing boats. Oh well, it's a bit weird. That usually doesn't happen when you do a proper build order for water with Zeus. You shouldn't be having an idle time in there. But anyway, that happened in here. Maybe it's a bit different variant than I'm right now thinking of. And the construction is already up. Gonna be right now destroying at least this dock, and that's gonna be screwing him how? Not much. Not much, and you know why? Because you can be still depositing the food as long as it's getting deconstructed. It's pretty much the same as you're gonna be getting the free mythical unit in Titans during the reconstruction, even though of course right now you're not gonna be getting it because of the hybrid mod, but definitely well played. It's gonna be finishing another deconstruction right after, and it's gonna be triple deconstruction right about now for Domantas. So he will have to time it right properly. And he still is gonna be pretty much screwed, and right now, basically the delay in the next fishing boat is probably gonna be playing quite a bigger role than he might have thought, as they might be even wanted to right now bolt him. I would just probably bolt him even, and forcing the opponents to be sending it there, because it's obviously what's gonna happen. Now the reconstruction is gonna be coming forward, as he's gonna be depositing as much food as possible as he can right about now. And yeah, trying to right now at least destroy the Oracle, and that is really strange that they did not follow with the second and the third one. I think that was definitely the plan, but somehow they weren't following through properly. Right now it's gonna be coming up, right? He should be depositing all the food from the fishing boats, exactly. Can see, yeah, well, can be getting at least like the 20-30 foot in there, and we cannot exactly look at that, so unfortunately we cannot see the exact amount, but I'm thinking it should be keeping him alive, as the third one is gonna be following through right proper, and quite soon as well, as we are looking at already triple oracles from blue, a few piggies here on the left side as well, and of course a bit of a scouting from red still flowing through, as there are plenty of gold mines in the middle here. Somewhere at the bottom, we are gonna be looking at plenty of gold mines for them still, but of course, right about now, Domantas is gonna be having like the shortest end of the stick, as right now the promontory into the map is gonna be kind of working alright. You can see it's maybe gonna be having another threesome somewhere in the middle, but since you are on original spawns, you cannot really exactly be too sure. You certainly do know about the triple on the right side here, so you're gonna be looking somewhere to the top, as you're having a bit of a, like, maybe some kind of pause, hopefully only. Brickhead having some kind of connection issue here momentarily, hopefully. Better villager speed, certainly nice. Would be quite helpful in evading some kind of radiant, but we are on medit, so that probably is not going to be coming out all that much. Another relic was for favor trickle. This one is going to be for wall hit points, which might be something. Doesn't have to be all that bad. And this one is going to be for myth unit special attacks a bit often. To be certainly quite nice, as you're gonna be waiting out the lag in there. Yeah, well, it probably should be, as Brickhead usually does have quite a solid connection. All the way to the top, that's gonna be another relic for cheaper Templar researches for him. As we're gonna be looking at potentially continue with the game. Yes. And to the top side, a bit of a scouting by Matreiuss, but they should be already thinking about hiding the Catastrophe somewhere behind the bases, because obviously a triple underworld passage, that's gonna be a real nastiness. And yeah, well, this is... Oh, come on, really? You're gonna be building the docks this way, Shelty and Brickhead? Really? Both into the same part of the water, right next to you? And certainly not optimal. Right now he has to go quite a long way for all of this fishing, or all of these fishing spots out there. But apparently it's not exactly right now slowing him down too much, but the efficiency is not exactly present. You can see double Catastrophe having a bit of a meeting here. Not entirely certain what they want to do all that much, as they're gonna be having obviously only like ceasefires or maybe triple restoration. I'm kinda thinking they should be heading, as the bolt is already in, for at least like... I think maybe like 2 restorations, one ceasefire could be good enough. Could be at least something. I think they should be getting at least 1 ceasefire, because it's quite a powerful god power to be having anything against. You can see another rock is gonna be all the way to the bottom, attempting to be right now walling himself off. Unfortunately, the Domantas couldn't exactly get that going, and it doesn't make all that much of a sense right now to be continuing with the bolts here. It's not going to be working at all. So Athena times double, and the third one is going to be Domantas Kill You Die. It's going to be yellow, and it's going to be actually triple Athena. So that means basically hardcore on the water. So they're playing fully on the water and basically not about anything else at all. So they're really hoping that they will somehow win the water fully without any kind of like comeback. Definitely curious. Against all those deconstructions, it's gonna be quite hard, especially since Domantas right now is gonna be forced off into only potentially the one dock, if he's even gonna be able to finish it. And so far he definitely isn't. So yeah, well, at this point, Deities of Death definitely found out quite a solid counter strategy to a triple Zeus from the opponents, and so far it seems to be working rather well, even though the second dock, at least from matreiuss, is already here. But they are pretty much playing 3 versus 2, and that just cannot go really all that well for too long at this point, and they definitely have to hope that the triple restorations are gonna be giving them enough time to at least right about now going for some kind of chance how to come back, because it's gonna be definitely quite hard. Alright, so this battle seems to be of course going only one way, 2 versus 1, even though the boats are slightly stronger for the Greeks. We mustn't forget that they are also cheaper and a bit faster for the Atlanteans. He's gonna be heading into solid 3 versus 2, which is definitely not something that actually Deities of Death want. Because Restoration is gonna be all that much stronger if they're actually gonna be fighting one battles. But so far, it seems that they are gonna be really kinda manhandled on the water really quickly. Not any kind of problem whatsoever, with another deconstruction right now coming for yellow. And I'm kinda thinking they should have really continued with purple. But it seems that they are controlling him rather well. And maybe they could have just at least like trolled him slightly, psychologically as well. Not even allowing a single boat right about now to be produced for him. It should have been bolted then, I think. 2 extra villages dead right about now. So Domantas is in pretty deep trouble right about now, and quite deep in the hole. As yellow is still going to be continuing, and there is gonna be some kind of chance, but I don't see too much. Because yet again, we don't have shooting dogs here, and especially uncrappables don't have shooting dogs. And therefore, like, what are they going to be planning right about now? It, of course, another dog, yet again deconstruction for Domantas, and that is quite a solid spam of all of them, and gonna be one more right about now for Fox available. Okay, so we are gonna be right now looking at pretty much total dominance on the water for Deities of Death. So I'm kinda curious if maybe the uncrappables are gonna be trying something on the water or on the land. It's gonna be probably quite hard at this stage. There is at least a bit of radiant into economy in the middle and in the pocket, up to Shelty and Brickhead. So you're probably gonna be already looking at some kind of attempts of maybe even Heroic Age from the uncrappables. Wouldn't be really all that surprised, as the water is pretty much really fully done. But so far that's only 1 military barracks going for a bit of radiant with a few military buildings and all 3 temples here on the left side. So they're just basically going all the way here, and all of them with Shelty moving forward with 1 extra military building, and Murmilos apparently being quite close by here. So in the place and in the pocket, it's gonna be about now Shelty coming for counter-barrack still. So they don't seem to be really heading into the Heroic Age all that quickly. Seem to be a whole lot more interested in basically right now a full-on rush. And apparently Brickhead is quite heavily housed at this point. Just right now realizing building the manor in there with counter-barracks and military barracks one-on-one. As of course plenty of hunt and right now food of other sources is gonna be certainly needed for the uncrappables, but they don't exactly have all that much fun access to that. They have a bit of gold. The hunt for them is quite a bit forward. You can see he's gonna be coming for the Aurochs, but problem is, he's gonna be quite soon forced into a bit of engagement, as Brickhead is already going for a few military units quite on his part of the map, as Valor is right now being cast in the water. Yeah, well, that's pretty much a done deal at this stage, as the army is getting ever stronger for Shelty, as Domantas is at least trying to keep it alive with the heroes, and well, at least the upgrade into watchtowers, which, well, not gonna be really working for too long and for too much, and maybe could be at least shooting and the Prometheans there. That wouldn't be such a bad idea, and having the tower shooting at the units would be also kinda good, and not into the building. It will certainly help at least ever so slightly. But anyway, right now it's gonna be apparently attempt to switch into a Heroic Age maybe for Domantas, but so far also gonna be switching into the archery range, and the tower is gone. So it's gonna be all coming into the main TC of his. And at this point, as on the right flank, just a bit of a still starting raiding with the triple oracles and the starting Promethean in there, as the Apollo for Kill You Die is already through. Advance really quickly in here, as the pocket player seems to be kinda aiming for the same, as he's already not even making any kind of villages, and we are gonna be, for example, checking what the economical upgrades are looking like. So Hendax here, second TC coming for Kill You Die. Hendax and Pickaxe for Domantas we are gonna be looking at Hendax and Pickaxe as well, He's already gonna be heading into Apollon himself, and they are definitely not giving up. So they do see some kind of like light at the end of the tunnel. You can see that Fox committing right now into the Kronos, still advancing into Heroic Age, and it's pretty much the same for all the players on the opposing team. And that might potentially be a bit of a problem. As you can see, matreiuss is making a bit of a comeback on the water here, and with all the strength of the boats that he's having, and of course the opponents not continuing with the water all that much and basically switching into the land, it seems that maybe this game is gonna be still quite wide open. And well, with Kirudai finishing the settlement as the first one, they definitely right now with the first restoration coming forward have to be getting slightly apprehensive days of that, because the game is not as decided as they potentially could have thought. There is still going to be quite a bit of fight left, it seems, as the Heroic Ages really are coming for all the players on the opposing team. Only it seems like matreiuss is gonna be taking a bit. I'm gonna be just really checking, as apparently Rhea is gonna be one for Shelty, or rather for Brickhead. For Shelty in the pocket, it's gonna be though the same, and kind of expecting it's not gonna be that much different for Fox on the left side, as they are at least getting some kind of army going at this point, and hoping that it's going to be really strong enough for them. As here, well, the battle is yet again raging, and because of the boats are slightly stronger for the Greeks, they are definitely winning, even against like slightly high numbers of the Atlanteans. And the Atlanteans still need to be realizing that they are definitely going to be in need of maybe more boats, or at least the Heroic Age ones. Otherwise, it's not gonna be all that easy, as Domantas yet again receiving the blunt end of the stick here, maybe even the pointy one at this point. But the army is already at least there, the towers are certainly gonna be helping as well. So therefore this is gonna be resulting in quite solid losses, even though like 2-3 villages are dead yet again, which is gonna be totaling at like 5 or something like that for Domantas already. And with the strangled economy at the start of the game, it's gonna be even worse. And therefore, well, we can only expect that this is gonna be getting not really easier, but maybe just basically worse as time goes for Domantas, because the economy of the opponents is certainly not suffering at all. Okay, so yellow seems to be right now heading a bit more to the left side, also on the right flank. You can see Kirudai with his Heroic Age is definitely able to repel a Brickhead quite fine. He's also still using at least a few Aurochs on there. Gonna be having some kind of potentially more deer in the darkness here, and also getting plenty of gold mines through that. So that's gonna be fairly important, and we mustn't forget that at least a few TCs are going to be in water range. That's this one at the bottom. So far it's basically UCA's Tian centers. This one is too far away. Yeah, basically all other TCs are too far away. So 2 town centers for UCA's are in water range. So another reason why the Uncappables should be fighting for the water as long as possible, and as heavily as possible, so that basically they can be able to control it, as Fox is already through Rhea. And that's gonna be the last player for them, as matreiuss is gonna be the very last in the game who potentially wants the next TC. And also, of course, the Heroic Age. So there we go, another restoration is gonna be coming forward. That was the second, I think, and one still should be alive, exactly. And those traitors are gonna be fairly intriguing. I'm kinda thinking they might be basically best kept for, like, Underworld Passage Colossi. I think that would be really helpful for them. And it could be even making basically short work of the Underworld Passage itself a bit later. Definitely seems like some kind of idea for them. As right now, matreiuss, who was the only player who was able to do something significant and similar to any kind of like opposition on the water, is still quite prevalent there. But right now the Heroic Ages and basically double and triple TCs already for the Atlanteans, and it's gonna be one hell of a jump into the economy, as the Bolt has been used a bit before on the Behemoth. And right now though it's going to be up to Odysseus, with even Jason trying to get there. Oh, welcome on, Jason. You are having another customer here of the mythical variety here, so very well played. Another restoration. This time it's going to be on land, and I think it's definitely needed, because otherwise it would be just way too much. But those behemoths are still keeping on coming. And are they like auto-queued somewhere? It seems like on the left they are. At least for Fox in here, it seems they are gonna be producing, or he's gonna be producing as many of them as possible, as at least another tower is going to be right now built to help with the defense. And yeah, Odysseus already knows what to do, but Jason, unfortunately, he's kinda like seriously confused there. And we definitely are going to be also waiting for Odysseus. Oh no, come on, matreiuss. That needs to be fighting against right now the behemoths here in the front, as this battle for the TC seems to be kinda dire. And yet again, if they had a ceasefire, maybe I could have used it now, but the TC is certainly gone, and that is a huge problem, because Domantas, I don't exactly see him how we could be right now taking it back, even through at least a bit of a defense with the towers here on the left, and potentially even a bit more onto the right flank. So far, there's a bit of a scout into the top, for potentially the Underworld Passage still available. As in the middle, there's still some kind of raiding going on by matreiuss, as Fox has to be committing at least a few boats, well, actually quite a lot of boats into the battle. And you can see still even more boats are sent by matreiuss, trying to destroy the water economy for as long as possible, as there is even an upgrade into the Salt Amphora, so therefore they need to be still quite careful about that. In the meantime, on the right battlefield, Kyliudai versus Brickhead seems to be quite a solid battle so far, as Brickhead is finishing with a 30C just in time. Third one already finished for Kyliudai, and he does have quite a solid build-up. You can see he destroyed quite a lot of Kontarai already in the battle a bit before with the Prodramai and kind of combination with infantry army. And he definitely should be scouting here, because it almost seems there could be still a way through in the darkness. Domantas' base though is getting definitely leveled with all the Turmas and basically the full-on double that is aiming for him, and with all the behemoths here. This one is almost dead, but yeah, well, still gonna be strong enough right now to be going right under the tower to destroy it as well. So the time for Domantas' domain is going to be definitely growing short, and it's gonna be really remaining up to Matreiuss to somehow significantly help him, but it seems slightly unlikely considering the fact that he is really concentrating on the water and fighting on that for quite some time already. Yeah, a lot of housing also getting destroyed for Domantas, and even though he does have at least some kind of army, he's inevitably fighting 1 versus 2, and that just is not going to be working, especially in the setup that he's right now in. Okay, a bit of a boat still available right now for Fox, gonna be probably right now destroyed if it's gonna be played properly. Could be like targeting this sound for one shot, and a few other boats are gonna be also easily destroyed for him. So otherwise, Matreiuss seems to be really owning the waters rather well, so that's kind of nice. But problem is that it might not really matter all that much, because on the land, all those military buildings on the left side are gonna be really right now way too strong, and it seems that, well, that's not gonna be really anything that should be changing anytime soon at this point, as of course the towers are exactly one of the sole ways how Domantas could be helping in the defense in here, as the TC is yet again basically even lower than half the hit points. And to the top, well, his battle is at least attempted to be joined by Matreiuss, but he doesn't have all that many upgrades, and basically all the unupgraded army in here without anything at all on it. And even though there are plenty of towers on the left, still those Turmas will be able, especially with the reconstruction following, destroy all the villages here, and especially the gathering capacity here for Domantas, who's gonna be right now suffering even more than he already was. So right now, you can definitely see that you guys are kind of quite tenacious. Still wanted to fight this, even though it's really aiming only one way, and they're probably right now hoping that maybe Kyliudai could be breaking through the right side there quickly enough. But to be honest, looking at all of this, I don't exactly see it all that much, as there's a quite a pitched battle right next to Kyliudai's TC, not even next to Brickhead's TC, all the way to the top side. You can see the palaces right now moving forward with already heavy archive with male Orichalcos, right? That's how it's called. Yep, exactly how it's called. With already medium weapons at least research for Kyliudai, and it's already going to be UCA right about now resigning. And the first home map for UCAS is, well, gonna be kinda backfiring for them, as the opponents from deities of death definitely did find well, right proper counter strategy to everything like this. So I'm kinda curious what they are gonna be right now choosing at the second home map, as they weren't really all that happy about the water map at the start, but maybe they could be actually switching their thought about that. Okay, so let's see. Right now head into the post game, and we're gonna be watching at Fox with the highest score here. And quite kinda deservedly, but to be honest, really well played by the deities of death. They definitely chose the correct strategy, and they executed right properly. Right properly, and Domantas without the dog for such a long time, that was certainly quite a big problem, and it really does tend to be quite a solid issue. Okay, so the economy apparently seems to be best for Shelty, at least for the time being, and here actually seems by solid margin, so he actually was going for it quite well in the pocket. So well done on that front. Kyliudai having quite a solid economy himself, even though he was without the water. But yeah, well, Domantas, he was really on the receiving end the whole game, so not really all that much of a wonder that he just wasn't able to really withstand it all that much. A military count for Shelty 122, quite a solid one. You know, spamming plenty of units in there and also on the water. As unit skill for Matreiuss is gonna be the highest, as he was really punishing the water a bit later, but unfortunately at that point it did not, well, anymore matter as much. Yeah, not all that many researches for all three UCAs, as the economy was obviously just going to be better for the triple Atlanteans there, especially since they have won the water. And in the manner that they have won it. 50 to 3 RMS, in the end water won, but it was unfortunately just at a time that it made less of an impact than was needed for the whole game. Yeah, Domantas right now you can see at the down that this is the time when I think that he lost actually the 2 citizens or other villages working on the dock there, which was deconstructed right after anyway. And that's why he pretty much wasn't able to even like partake in the water battle, because he was just completely... His game was just completely reconstructed, like literally. Literally reconstructed altogether. Matreiuss did what he could. Nice battle between Kiludai and Brickhead on the right flank. But through the push on the left, he just couldn't be enough. GG.